Magic should be awe-inspiring, volatile, and exciting. But let's be honest, in D&D, casting spells can often feel routine and predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen every time, taking away from the sense of wonder and risks that should come with wielding supernatural powers. But what if there was a way to recapture that excitement? To make every spell cast a thrilling, unpredictable event? Today on Lone Quester, how to make your D&D magic epic and dangerous. Magic should be a volatile and unpredictable force that mages must struggle to control, but currently it often feels more like a superpower that players can rely on without much strategic risk or decision-making involved. Think about how magic is portrayed in fantasy novels and films. There's always an element of chaos and uncertainty. Wizards must be careful not to let their spells spin out of control, and reckless uses of magic come with dire consequences. Those feelings of danger and unpredictability are largely absent from 5e spellcasting. As long as you have enough spell slots, you can essentially treat spells like mundane abilities that always achieve their intended effects. Another issue is the general lack of creativity and flexibility in spell effects. Spells tend to have a very rigid set of parameters that dictate their range, area of effect, damage type, duration, and so on. This makes magic far more constrained and inflexible than I would like. Some systems might try to solve this by allowing players to describe any effect that they want, and letting the dungeon master adjudicate. However, if we want to run a tactical game, one where players think creatively about how they can maximize their effectiveness within the constraints of a rule set, completely open-ended spellcasting ends up leading to a lack of clarity and consistency that makes it difficult for players to strategize effectively. In this video, I'll share with you the magic system from Sword and Flame, the TTRPG that I'm developing, and how you can apply it to your D&D games. By addressing some of these shortcomings, we can create a far more immersive, engaging, and wondrous experience for players, truly letting them feel what it's like to wield forces most mortals can scarcely comprehend. Instead of spell slots, a magic user has access to a pool of dice that can be used to power spells. When casting, they must decide how many dice from their spell pool to commit. The higher their total, the more powerful their spell will be, but as you roll more dice, the chance of backfires and calamities increase. Spells backfire whenever 2 of your spell dice show the same number after a roll. What this means is different for each spell school. Fire mages may find their own bodies scorched by wandering embers, or necromancers could find themselves swarmed by the vengeful undead they attempted to control. Critically, the more dice that you invest into powering a spell, the higher chance of that unlucky double roll, triggering a backfire. As terrible as backfires can be, there exists an even more catastrophic outcome: the dreaded calamity, which occurs when 3 dice all show the same value. Calamities are designed to be pivotal events that dramatically alter the course of your adventure in unforeseen ways. Perhaps the arrogant fire mage will summon a roving wildfire they cannot control, or an overzealous necromancer may unleash a plague of undeath upon the land. These calamities are included into the game to ensure that high-stakes spellcasting maintains a gripping sense of risk and awe. With the potential for backfires and calamities looming over every single cast, mages must think twice about pumping the maximum number of dice into a single spell. When the act of casting spells carries such an inherent risk and randomness, resourceful players will undoubtedly develop clever strategies to mitigate or even exploit these hazardous effects to their advantages. Wary pyromancers may keep protective gear and fire-resistance items at the ready to hedge against deadly backfire blowback. Cunning necromancers could intentionally trigger control backfires, using the manifest undead as disposable cannon fodder or emergency muscle. The possibilities stemming from this element of uncertainty are limitless. Each party of adventurers may uncover their own unique gambits and contingencies to bend these arcane rules to their whims. In this system, you can extend the effect of your spells by adding enhancements to them. As you do this, the required roll to cast increases, forcing you to invest additional dice for a reliable cast. This system allows for more powerful and varied spells. For example, a simple spell like Firebolt can be enhanced, allowing you to extend the range, radius, damage, and number of targets. You can even use an enhancement to add the burning condition to those affected. This system allows for more interesting and creative uses of magic. Imagine needing to create a barrier for an extended period. By investing more dice, you could prolong the duration of a protective spell, making it last for an entire encounter. This flexibility lets players tailor spells to fit the specific needs of the moment, adding a dynamic element to gameplay. Sometimes your spell pool isn't enough, and you need a little extra oomph to get the job done. This is where Spellburn comes into play. Instead of using spell dice from your pool, you can use your hit points to power a spell. Roll any number of d6s up to your level, and the total roll can be used to power the spell. However, you also lose hit points equal to the number you rolled. It's a powerful tool in desperate situations, but it comes at a significant cost. This mechanic can turn the tide of battle in critical moments, but can also introduce the risk of incapacitating yourself. Knowing when to use Spellburn and when to hold back is the key to mastering the system. This mechanic also emphasizes the theme of magic being dangerous and an all-consuming force. It's not just about having power, but it's about how much you're willing to sacrifice to achieve your goals. This creates intense, high-stakes scenarios where every decision matters. This dice pool system offers several tantalizing advantages over traditional spellcasting methods. First, it introduces a delicious layer of strategic depth. No longer can mages mindlessly fling their most potent spells. Mages can no longer mindlessly fling their most powerful spells. Must carefully ponder how much of their magical reserve to expend on any given casting. Second, it introduces a true variability into the act of spellcasting itself. Rather than being binary, cost or no cost, the dice determine the magnitude of the spell's effect. Each casting behaves differently, with unique and unpredictable qualities. But most importantly, the system aligns beautifully with the fundamental fantasy of magic itself, a volatile, chaotic force that shapes reality through unbridled power and danger. With each roll of the dice, mages stare into the unknown, never certain of what cosmic energies they might unleash. Spellcasting ceases to be a rote recitation and becomes an immersive act of risking all to wield power. To illustrate how the system works in practice, let's look at a few scenarios from actual gameplay. In one session, a fire mage found themselves surrounded by energies. Desperate to turn the tide, they decided to invest 5 dice into a fireball spell. The result? 3 of the dice rolled the same value, triggering a calamity. Instead of incinerating the foes, the spell backfired, causing a massive explosion that knocked the mage unconscious and set the entire area ablaze. This turn of events created a dramatic and dangerous situation that the party had to navigate, making for an unforgettable session. In another game, a necromancer was facing a powerful undead creature. With their spell dice running low, they opted to Spellburn, rolling 4d6 to cast a powerful banishment spell. They successfully banished the creature, but at the cost of 14 hit points, leaving the necromancer critically wounded. These examples demonstrate how the dice pool system creates dynamic and engaging gameplay moments. The unpredictability and risk inherent in the system ensure that spellcasting is never routine or boring, but always an integral part of the story. Thanks for watching. We hope that this exploration of the Sword and Flame magic system has inspired you to bring more excitement and danger into your spellcasting. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. For those interested in diving deeper into the world of Sword and Flame, we invite you to join our Discord and explore the full RPG, which is available for free. It's packed with innovative mechanics just like these, and will elevate your tabletop experience. Until next time, happy adventuring, and may your spells always hit their mark.